Hi everyone, I'm Andrew Moritz, the Chief Executive Officer of Transport Heritage New South Wales, and it's my pleasure to announce the successful recipients of the 2020 Transport Heritage Grants Program, an annual program designed to help bring transport heritage projects to life across New South Wales. This New South Wales government-funded program aims to help the New South Wales community rediscover the culture, events and people that helped shape transport in New South Wales over the past 165 years. The program is now in its 6th year, and if you follow our social media channels, you'll see some of the amazing restoration projects this program has helped deliver since its inception in 2015. This year, we've received a record number of submissions, with over 30 applications totalling over $600,000, each vying for the $175,000 in grant funds that are available. It's now my great pleasure to announce those successful recipients for 2020. Our first recipient for 2020 is the JUNEE Roundhouse Museum, who will receive $5,256 to upgrade their on-site interpretive signage.
We've been here now for many, many years, and our visitors are growing by the thousands.
Each of our exhibits here show the rich railway history that JUNEE has to offer. Our new signs will show visitors the work that each exhibit did for the railway system.
Our next successful recipient is the CROOKWELL Heritage Society, granted $7,176 for the replacement of their walkway deck and painting the turntable. The next successful recipient is the Rail Motor Society, granted $14,779 to upgrade their interpretive signage and paint the interior of the Station Master's Cottage.
To my left is the old Station Master's Cottage, located in our depot site at Patterson, and this is the subject of our grant. The painting of the interior and the presentation of interpretive signage will enhance the presentation of our organisation to the general public.
Our fourth successful recipient is the Sydney Bus Museum, who this year will receive 2 grants. The first for $18,893 for the mechanical overhaul of former New South Wales Government bus Leyland 2599, and the second for $9,823 for a new publication telling the story of the State Transit Authority.
The key part of the project is to remove and overhaul the engine, so we're very thankful for the money to be able to give this bus the chance to get back out on the road.
It gives me great pleasure to accept on behalf of the Sydney Bus Museum this award to fund the Farewell State Transit Authority.
Our next successful recipient is the Sydney Heritage Fleet, granted $14,097 to restore the upper deck windows of the Canangara Sydney Ferry. This is the first time the Transport Heritage Grants have been extended to include maritime heritage items, so congratulations to them on their successful submission.
What we're doing here is restoring windows on the bridge deck of the Canangara, where on the whole vessel there's something like 221 windows.
And thank you to the New South Wales Government.
Our next successful recipient is the Sydney Tramway Museum, who this year will also receive 2 grants. The first for $18,435 for the restoration of Sydney Tram D Class 117 to display condition, and the second for $13,000 to digitise the Sydney Tramway Museum archives.
These grants make possible projects at the museum that may not have happened. We look forward to completing the projects and participating in future grant projects. Thank you.
Congratulations also to the Sydney Electric Train Society for their successful application of $3,425 for the refitting of vintage electric locomotive 4615's pantograph.
The assistance provided through this Transport Heritage Grant will allow us to refit 2 original pantographs to our electric locomotive 4615.
Before we announce the largest grant recipient for 2020, the following organisations were also successful in this year's grants program. They are Hunters Hill Historical Society for $2,400 for their new exhibition and brochure, Rowboats to Bus Fleets, charting the problems and solutions of public transport in the Hunters Hill area. The Lawrence Historical Society for $5,100 to deliver their exhibition Clarence River, The Road to Settlement 1799 to 1950, The Vanished Ships of the Clarence, which illustrates the importance of the Clarence River once had to trade in New South Wales as a major harbour. The Lachlan Valley Railway Society for $5,500 to develop a master plan and conservation management strategy for their depot at Orange East Fork, to inform future works on the site as a mainline heritage rail depot. The DC 6029 Trust, owners of Bayer-Garrett 6029, for $5,500 to refurbish the locomotive springs. Wagga Wagga Rail Heritage Centre is receiving $11,132 to replace the failed windows in their barracks building with heritage-style windows in keeping with the era of the structure. ACT Heritage Rail Holdings is receiving $13,100 to restore carriage upholstery in AL 1040, a Pullman-style carriage for display and interpretation to the public. And now for our final grant announcement. This year, Temora Shire Council are the successful recipient of our largest grant for 2020, with a total grant of $42,417. The Council supports a volunteer group located within the former Temora railway station that has very successfully adaptively reused the station and boasts a growing yet comprehensive display of railway memorabilia dating back to when Temora Railway Station was the first established in 1893. This grant will be going towards further conservation and improvement works of the precinct.
We're here today to say a big thank you for receiving a $42,417 grant, and I'll leave it to Max to continue on with the thank you.
Thank you, Belinda. Yeah, thank you very much to those involved, especially thank you to the New South Wales Government and the Transport Heritage New South Wales organisation for this grant. It means a hell of a lot to us. It's going to allow us to fix up some drainage issues and also our roof, which is in dire need of some repairs and restoration work.
And that's a wrap for 2020. Before we go, a special thanks also to the Royal Australian Historical Society, who help administer this program, and again to the New South Wales Government for their continued support of heritage transport here in New South Wales. Thank you also to the Grants Assessment Panel, which reviews and assesses each application on its merits, and to the members of the Independent Funding and Advisory Panel, who provide oversight of the process. Congratulations to all our recipients, and well done. Stay safe, and I look forward to seeing all of these very worthy projects come to fruition in the near future.